He was a talentless loser, but became the leader of the greatest team of treasure hunters in the world. Cry just wanted to live a quiet life in the peaceful village he was born in, because the thought of becoming a treasure hunter who raids treasure vaults and fights monsters was too dangerous for him. However, it was the dream of his childhood friends, who made him swear to become famous treasure hunters together and get respected as heroes. Many years have passed since then, and Cry is a young man living in the capital city, where a huge recruitment drive is being organized by one of the largest clans named First Steps. Cry quietly joins the queue, and the girl named Ruta begins yapping about how she always goes solo, but she was having some trouble at a treasure vault called White Wolf's Den, so she decided to join a party. Suddenly, one of the guys in the line starts mocking Ruta for thinking that she can clear White Wolf's Den at level 3. She gets angry at Scarface's remarks and things start getting heated between them. Cry wants no part of this bullshit, so he tries his best to camouflage with the wall behind him, while a guard comes to break the fight between Ruta and Scarface. Soon, they get inside the tavern and Cry tells Ruta to ask him anything because he has been to many such gatherings before. She asks about the most flashy party first, and Cry tells her that it is the best party in this clan, which is led by a blonde playboy named Ark with a level 7 certification, and with just 5 of his teammates, he managed to clear a rank 7 treasure vault. Ruta is amazed to hear that, and asks him about the empty seat besides Ark's party. Before Cry can tell her anything, Scarface comes there and asks her if she doesn't even know that the seat belongs to the leader of the famous Grievers party, who founded the First Steps clan. Scar tells Ruta that the main reason there are so many people here is because Grievers is trying to find a new member for the first time. Suddenly, an angry redhead begins shouting at the organizers of the event, asking where the Grievers party is because he came here just for them. A girl named Tino comes forth to discipline the boy, and even though the guard from earlier tries to stop her, neither of them is ready to back down. The hunters in the tavern are eager to see a fight, and Cry tells Ruta to come out with him so they don't get caught in the crossfire. Meanwhile, Tino starts warming up when suddenly, she senses a familiar presence. She completely ignores the redhead and begins looking around. She suddenly notices Cry and heads towards him, ignoring the redhead's attack. Moments later, he gets tackled to the ground by Tino, whose personality has done a 180, and she is no longer the mean killing machine, but a simp for Cry. She calls him Master, asking since how long has he been here. Just then, the blonde named Ark comes there and tells Cry that he is late, because until the clan master and the leader of Grievers shows up, they can't start. Everyone is dumbfounded on learning that the pathetic loser on the ground is the leader of the formidable clan, and Cry just wants the earth to swallow him at this point. His story started 5 years ago, when he formed the Grievers party with his childhood friends to achieve their dream. They went to beginner vaults and cleared them quickly. It was only his friends that did all the work though, and Cry was often clueless and vulnerable, but his friends thought that he was acting as a lure for monsters on purpose. He was the only one without any real skill, and he knew he would become a burden to them soon. That is why he decided to leave the party for the sake of his friends. When he gathered his friends to tell them that he was quitting, they ignored him like my crush ignores me, and said that their party doesn't have a leader, so he should take up the post. Cry was shocked that his resignation was converted into a promotion, but he was given no choice. He became the leader of the party, which soon became the strongest in the world. Back to the present, Cry is on his seat with Ark and Tino next to him, fighting for his attention. Ark then says that Cry must have come late on purpose to mix with the applicants and assess them while hiding his identity. Cry wants to tell him that it is not true, and he was just late because he overslept. Then, Ark asks if he found anyone suitable to join their party. Cry's attention goes to the violent redhead from before, and he asks him to introduce himself. The boy says his name is Gil, and Cry believes that if Ark's party trains him, he might unlock his potential. He knows that he has no talent in scouting people, but he leaves everything to the god of plot armor as he decides to pick Gil. However, he has a condition before that. Cry says the most important thing for a hunter is strength and the determination to never give up. That is why he will test everyone to see if they are worthy of joining their clan. He declares that ever since he became a hunter, he has never lost once, and everyone is shocked. Well, he has never been in a proper fight either. Cry takes off one of his rings, declaring that anyone who gets it will get his recommendation to join Ark's party. He tosses the ring towards the crowd and Gil rushes to catch it, but Tino takes action quickly and sends him to the Shadow Realm with a kick from her thick thighs. The ring flies away from his hands and begins rolling on the ground, and all the hunters present in the tavern start chasing it like mad dogs. Cry declares that the ring is also a treasure item, so he will let anyone who captures it have it. He wishes everyone best of luck, and then tells Ruda and Scar that he will see them around. The next day, as Cry is chilling in his office, his secretary Eva complains about the mess his little challenge caused yesterday, and informs him that the Treasure Hunter Association also wants to have a chat with him. Cry wants to send Ark on his behalf, but he is not in the city, and he has no choice but to go there. As soon as he reaches the office, he immediately grovels before him and begins apologizing. But Chief Gark is not pleased with this apology. He sends his secretary to give Cry a book containing missions no hunter wants to do because they are either lame or extremely difficult. So he begins skimming through the book to find an easy mission and then dump it on someone else. He finds a mission in a level 3 vault about rescuing some hunters and immediately takes it, unaware that it is the most dangerous one. Once Cry reaches the clan office, he finds Tino, who is there to show him the ring she won yesterday. He then asks if she is free right now, and Tino thinks it is time for her to get to second base with her master, but he just wants her to do the mission he got from the chief. Tino vanishes from the room like Thanos just snapped his fingers, but Cry uses an artifact that tracks her and ties her down. The rescue mission is in the wolves' den, and Cry knows exactly whom to send there along with Tino. So he forms a party with Ruda, Tino, Scar, and Gil to take up this mission. 6 years ago, when his group went to register as a party in the Treasure Hunter Association, the redhead named Luke kicked the door open and introduced himself as the strongest swordsman in the world. And just after him, the tan girl Liz declared that she is the greatest thief. Cry cringed so hard at this that he just wanted to die, but his friends kept embarrassing him some more. He went to the receptionist to fill out the party paperwork reluctantly, and the receptionist asked him to pick a party name and symbol. No one had thought about it before, but then Cry purposely chose the lame name Grievers and a poorly drawn skull as their symbol, in the hopes that they'd think he's too cringe to be their leader. Everyone told him that the name and the symbol were crap, to which he responded saying that he just can't get motivated to be a treasure hunter if the party name is something else. But that made his friends immediately change their tone. They told Cry that he had a great naming sense, and they realized it late because they are not as smart as him. Poor Cry had no option now, and that is how the Grievers party was formed. Back to the present, Cry stands in front of the 3 treasure hunters who are still processing the fact that he is the leader of Grievers. They question if he is really the level 8 hunter nicknamed Thousand Tricks, which prompts Tino to stand up for him and order everyone to kneel before Master Cry. Cry asks her to stop intimidating them, but the redhead Gil clearly says that he looks too weak to be the real deal. Cry ignores this and asks if everyone here is willing to help Tino explore the level 3 treasure vault. Gil refuses to take orders from Cry, and Scar starts fighting with him, asking him to show some respect to the level 8 hunter. Seeing no way out, Cry decides to drop Gil from the team, but Gil suddenly challenges him to a fight and says that he will become his underling if he loses. Cry accepts his challenge, but tells him to fight Tino, who is the leader of this team and his representative. He accepts the challenge, and they come to the training hall. Gil tells Cry that once he defeats the girl, he will challenge him, but Cry points out that Tino is a level 4 hunter just like him. Tino drops her weapons, saying she doesn't even need them, leading Gil to throw his sword away too. Tino lunges towards Gil before he even has the chance to react. He dodges her first blow, but that was just the setup for a powerful kick that slams him to the wall. Tino is confident that she won, but Gil gets up and charges at her, but then Tino knocks him out with a blow to his neck. She immediately turns to Cry for praise and says that she became so strong thanks to him. While she goes to his side to receive some encouraging words, Gil lies on the floor, unable to believe that he lost. He recalls how he was always the strongest kid around, and he dreamed of becoming the strongest swordsman. He became a treasure hunter to achieve this dream, but soon became too strong for his party and decided to come here. After that, Cry asks him if he left his old party because of the wide skill difference. The shocked Gil asks how he knows that, and Cry replies that he has been in the same situation, but unlike him, their party stayed strong together. He doesn't say the crucial bit that it was his friends that didn't abandon him. Suddenly, Cry touches his sword with his feet, and his body is covered in flames. Gil is left dumbfounded because he has not been able to manifest flames of this level yet. But Cry can do this much without even holding the sword. so he finally accepts that he is monstrously strong. After that, Cry reads the details about the mission. They are going to a treasure vault called the White Wolves' Den to rescue some hunters. The monsters they will face there are ghosts of the silver wolves that used to live in the den before they were hunted down. Later, Secretary Eva tells Cry that he shouldn't have sent Tino and others to the dangerous treasure vault, but he shrugs it off, saying that it is just a level 3 vault. Cry says that the sword is a treasure relic, and it was so easy to use that even Gil can manage it without knowing anything about it. He suddenly becomes a relic otaku, saying that the relics found in treasure vaults are amazing, and he wants to collect all of them. He begins fantasizing about Gil's sword and wonders if he should try to buy it from him. Eva scolds him, saying that he already has too many relics, and he replies that every relic is different, so he can never get bored of them. Suddenly, he remembers that he needs to charge his relics, so he goes to a mage in his guild. While the mage charges the relic, she and her partner tells Cry about the phantom wolf seen near the White Wolves' Den, which wiped out a caravan that had level 3 guards. Also, the monsters in the vault are becoming stronger recently, and even a team of level 5 treasure hunters went missing inside it. Cry is shocked to hear all this, and he immediately pulls out the mission information page. He had not noticed the names and levels of the people he had to rescue when he took the mission, and now that he sees that they are all level 5, he freaks out, thinking that he sent Tino and others to their death. Once he tells the other two, they freak out as well, but think that this is the way Cry trains those who have potential. Cry immediately leaves the room, trying to convince himself that everything will be alright. On the other hand, Tino's party is near the treasure vault, and the atmosphere has started to become creepy. Even though she already knew that Cry had given her a very difficult mission, she comforts the others by saying that she has faith Cry put this party together for some planned reason only he knows. They are suddenly attacked by a powerful wolf monster wearing armor and carrying a weapon. Tino is terrified because she never thought that the monsters here would be of such a high level, but she decides to fight to fulfill the mission her master has given her. Back at Cry's office, he feels guilty about sending Tino and others to danger, so he decides to help them out himself. He pulls a book in his bookshelf to reveal a secret room, where all his relics are kept. Eventually, his eyes go to the small vault with a rather special relic. When he comes out of the room with everything, Eva almost mistakes him for a thief. After realizing he plans to help them, she notices a forbidden relic around his neck, but Cry hides it, saying that he is not going to use it because it is too dangerous. He then gets to the window and tells Eva that he will be back soon. He activates the power of his robe and flies away like a bat in the night sky without knowing that it has no controls and no brakes. Back at the cave, Tino's party somehow manages to kill another monster far beyond the level that they are used to, and during that encounter, Gil realizes that the mana in his sword has been completely discharged after Cry unleashed the energy from his sword during his demonstration. Scar seems pretty shaken as well, while Ruta breathes hard from the effort of killing just one monster. Scar thinks that they should head back since they don't have the appropriate people or level to deal with these monsters. But Tino straight up rejects their plans, claiming that Cry sent them over for a reason, and there is no way that they are going to disappoint him. She goes as far saying that Gil's sword being discharged might be a part of his grand plan. With her total belief in Cry, she moves forward, and soon they reach the actual dungeon where they find these wolf monsters waiting outside with guns and bows. They all hide behind some rocks and discuss their plan. Everyone decides that it would be for the best if they avoided confrontation in the open and try to enter the cave first. Gil heroically volunteers to distract the doggos while the others run inside. Tino immediately realizes that Gil has the brain capacity of a toaster, as she tells him that the wolves will doggo-style him if he tries anything funny. Gil claims that he still has his legendary sword, and even without mana, it is still a formidable weapon, but as the leader of the group, Tino rejects this. She instead decides that she and Ruta will act as distractions while Gil and Scar will attack the monsters from behind. By pushing past their limits, they end up doing pretty well, and they even manage to take down the 4 wolf monsters. They all seem pretty surprised to see that they are able to beat such strong opponents. Suddenly, some more monsters emerge from the cave, and the party immediately jumps into action. Tino holds back and observes her temporary team, quickly noting that even though they are a small party, they are pretty strong in their own classes despite their evident flaws. While this was all happening, this stupid simp starts fawning over Cry again, thinking that he must have thought about all this beforehand and sent them to this dungeon specifically so that they can gain more confidence. While fighting against the monster, he remembers the time when he shit-talked his own teammates because he felt that they weren't good enough and can't keep up with him. Because of that, he left the team, but he never even thought about how they felt during the whole encounter as they were trying their best to keep up with him. While he is struggling against the beast, Scar regains his footing and pushes the monster away, giving Gil the opportunity to land a massive slash to its chest, killing it immediately. He finally realizes how amazing it could feel to fight in a party where your teammates are not complete retards and moves ahead to the next area. Before walking through the next set of caves, Tino stops them, claiming that she can feel the presence of someone nearby. Scar asks whether it could be the people who were lost in the cave, but Tino thinks that Cry must have arranged for them to fight against a boss monster before they can retrieve the injured party members. She claims that they can't grow if they only take on the safest tasks. This ends up resonating with Scar, who claims that she might be right since after becoming a level 4 adventurer, he never felt the need to actually go to higher level dungeons, because he lost his drive and ambition. Tino replies that Cry must have seen through him immediately, and that's why he put him in this party so that he can face his fears and grow. She turns around to the rest of the team, telling them that they all were chosen for a reason, as Cry is a god and an elaborate mastermind who calculates everything, and he isn't just randomly sending them to life-threatening missions. Back outside, Cry is freaking out. He starts going as fast as possible, not realizing that he doesn't have any brakes. Because of that, he ends up becoming a pinball as he enters the dungeon while Tino and her party are finally face to face against the giant boss monster. Scar thinks that the boss is way too big for them, and soon the monster tries to hit them with his axe. They all manage to dodge the hit as they run around. Tino realizes that the monster is incredibly powerful, and they need a plan to have any chance at defeating it. She notices that the boss is not wearing a helmet, and she thinks that they should aim for its head. She tells Gil to block the next attack while she will try to go in for the killing blow, and Gil agrees to the plan without any hesitation. They all get ready to engage once again as the monster steps forward. Gil manages to block its attack with his sword, while Scar attacks it from behind, only to get bitch slapped in the face. Tino quickly rushes towards the beast, dodging the hits while the monster tries attacking Scar again and breaks his sword. The monster would have killed Scar if not for Tino, who jumps up on its axe and starts running towards its face. She takes the leap of faith, but unfortunately the beast is much quicker and ends up slashing her across her legs, while she stabs him in the back of the neck as she has watched too much Attack on Titan. The plan works out for them as the monster disappears while she drops to the ground and takes out a health potion to heal her wound. Gil and Scar both are relieved that they are alive as they walk towards Tino, who gives Scar her sword, claiming that she can survive without it for a bit.